I'll be honest with you, that first 10 minutes, I could have thrown my shoe at the television. I mean, it was
that bad?
The first 10 minutes, when it was just passing along from right back to centre back to centre back to left back to centre back to right midfield to full back to centre back. It was just like watching paint dry at first 10 minutes. I'm all for possession of the football, but go forward.
Yeah, but do you know what? Don't realise what
You're
they're doing.
playing Andorra.
Yeah, but what they're doing there, and I agree with you, it was totally boring. But what they're doing there is passing it around to see if Andorra are coming out. So after 10 minutes of that, you realise.
Well, I could have told you that before the start. Surely anybody could have.
Yeah, but if they did, just say they did come out and tried to press and weren't prepared to sit 9-10 men behind the ball, in their own half or deep in their own half, then they suddenly come out and then you can pass through them and it's easy. But that wasn't the way it was. So I understand, and I think that England could have taken the initiative a bit sooner, maybe 5 minutes in rather than 10. But it
was though, wasn't it? We just literally just passing it really around the back. Yeah. There was no pressure on any of the players.
There was no Grealish on with a bit of magic about him and a bit of who could run with the ball or commit one or two defenders, go past one, and then you've got a problem, and that would open up space. There was nobody disrupting the opposition.
Well, even Saka, when he got it wide left, he'd think about it and then go back inside and backwards and pass it back to the left back, and then pass it to the centre back.
Trippier at left back against a team like that. All right, against a better team, I get it. But there's no way you have to play Trippier at left back because he's got to help Mings out against Andorra. That to me was ridiculous. So it feels to me. I mean, I asked Gareth Southgate the question last week about Ben Chilwell. And he said it's because he hasn't played games. Well, there's a number of players in the squad. Lingard hasn't played games.
Well, we all know the story about that. We've said it a long time. Gareth will come out and say stuff, and he's done a brilliant job for England. But when he talks about you have to be playing games and playing minutes, Lingard's played 4 minutes, hasn't he? Didn't stop him playing and scoring 2 goals. So he has his. We all know he has his favourites, and it's a different rule for his favourites.
Well, that's true. And what it really needed was a left footer on the left hand side. So as much as I like Trippier, and I understand why he uses a right footer Trippier on the left sometimes, I get it. It just was wholly wrong for a game like Andorra. But all he wanted, I think, was a win. Whether it was 1-0, 10-0, whatever. He just wanted to win. And that's what they got.
Well, that's what football's about.
And in the end, it's comfortable.
Yeah. And they've been good. When you look back and you look at the 2 games they've had so far, 2 comfortable victories. But I'm just saying, there's 10 minutes, that first 10 minutes, it was just doing my head in when they were going back and forth and back and forth. There wasn't even a thought of going forward. Henderson get it, go. But guess what? Go back. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who were a bit lost in that first half, went back. Saka get it on the left, went back. It was just the same thing time and time again. And there was no way the number 9 of Andorra was going to go and pressurise them. Not at all. Let them have it. What are they going to do with it there?
Yeah, they were just looking to keep the score down. Even at 1-0, I think they were quite happy with that.
They'll take 4-0.
But let me put it this way, and I said this right at full time.
They'll take 4-0.
It was our second string, and all right, we livened up. We were 1-0 up, but we livened up when Mount Grealish and Kane came on. However, there was still a lot of really good attacking players who were out injured, like Foden, Sancho, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So there's some good players missing from that team who would have been maybe on the bench in the first game and played and started and made a difference earlier in that second game.
Yeah, and they played under Gareth Southgate. He had a few players that, had not really played that many. I mean, Bamford making his debut, he was a bit lost, wasn't he, in the first half? Couldn't really get into the game because they were doing all the passing at the back. Yeah. And they weren't really getting the ball to him. Now and again, they'd throw one up there for him to head. It's almost like they picked him just to head the ball.
They treated him like a target man, which was weird,
Exactly. And then he kept fouling, getting done for fouls, didn't he? So, which he might get away with in the Premier League. I don't know.